how education and research are connected in West and East comparison. And so I wanted to repeat some of the, the highlights of that. So the motivation is obviously that, Ukraine is evolving, and the system that is inherited from the Soviet times is being realigned with the Western system, and so it's useful to compare and discuss how the two systems work, and maybe I'm sort of in a good position with that regard because I have experience with both of these systems. So, I'd like to talk about one particular aspect. The whole subject could be topic of a long discussion, but one aspect which I find less well known when I talk to friends in the East is how undergraduate students get into research in the West versus in the East. The difference mainly comes from the fact that in the US, where the university model is a research university model, and research done on campus, and many benefits to it over the Soviet type model, where say students enroll in a university program and then they study for 3, 4, sometimes 5 years, and then after that studies are done and they enroll in master's program and start doing research. In the US system it's quite different. It's so, to speak, putting a cart in front of the horse and having undergraduate students get into research very early. This is because there are all these labs on campus and they're open to all students, every one of them. And the way it happens is that undergrads know about this opportunity when they enter the university, and those who are interested, many are interested, try it out even in their first year, and second year, and third year, and this is done via short-term projects. So it's nothing related to choosing which direction you specialize and then moving in that. They try out many different projects over a short period of time. Typical project time, 3 or 4 months, and then they have exposure to many different things in different areas in physics, chemistry, biology, etc. And this has this makes research an important part of education, and often the choice of courses is motivated by what research particular students wants to do for the next 2 or 3 months. Let me repeat one more time. So this happens starting from year 1, and in a way, the way it works is that student comes into the lab and asks for a project, and he's given some toy research project that he's doing, and then that can evolve into something more significant or may not evolve. And in this model, negative experience, when it doesn't evolve into anything, is perhaps as useful, or maybe even more useful than positive experience, because if you find out in a couple of months that something doesn't work for you, then that saves you a lot of time later in life in case you decided to make a choice and it turned out not to be the right choice. So the possibility to try many different things on a short time scale is very important. But also, in many cases it does work very well, and then students continue in that direction. So that's the idea. And So, I mean, the practice is that we. No pointer. Okay. Yeah. So the practice is that students who enter, may or may not make use of that. I mean, at my place, I think about 50% undergrads try at least one research project over their time at the university. Many try two, three, or four, and then that's a real research experience, and they and students actually get paid for it, and that's very small money compared to what they can earn by working for a big company. But it's an important aspect to it in two ways. One aspect is that many students who come from, let's say, rural Oklahoma or Midwest or a place like that, and they see a research lab for the first time, they don't even know whether by doing this, exciting as it is, a person can support a family, right? And so one of the aspects is to actually demonstrate them that you actually can earn money by doing this exciting thing. And then the other aspect to it, and believe it or not, it's important, not only for some students who come from strange backgrounds, but many different kinds of students. And then the other aspect to it, which is important, is what I, like many other people, learned living in the US, that people value things only when they're getting, only when they pay for them or when they're getting paid for them. It needs to be a money transfer one direction or the other direction, otherwise it is not perceived as something of value. And it's very cost effective. It's actually, I mean, this program at MIT is very easy to get money in because there are lots of people who understand the value of it and want to support it, and so we have no trouble funding it. Right, and then also maybe one other point to mention is that we're not the only place like that. There are many other universities that have these undergraduate research programs going, and there is a network of universities which are connected via these programs, and students doing research at one university have a possibility to go to a different university to try something over summer, over winter break, and we have a lot of student exchange, in particular with colleges listed below. Right. So that's how it works during the semester. And then there are also summer programs, and maybe the summer program aspect of it is more of interest for the students here, because I mean during the semester, of course, it's organized mostly internally. If you are a student at University A, you have access to all the opportunities at University A, and not so much to other universities. But during the summer, anyone can go anywhere, and there are lots of programs to which undergraduates can apply. And I was lazy, so I didn't make a comprehensive list. I only copied a few options from MIT website, but if you go to any other university website, there are any big university will have on-campus programs for undergraduates for different research topics, and there are hundreds and hundreds of them, and many of them are very good. So I don't want to read all of that. I just copied it for anyone who wants to read it. Later we'll post it on the workshop webpage. You have to apply, and many of these programs are competitive, but I mean, you have to try it and then see what happens and apply to a few, and 10 something, and then you should get some luck. then also when you look at this information, then you can, and maybe it's important for the students here, that many of these programs are actually not for undergrads, but they are officially for high schoolers. But the practice, as far as I know, is that they often accept many of them accept international undergraduate students. And then the other thing that will be good to mention, because it's not explicitly stated on the website, is that they all require tuition, and the programs you have to pay for, the summer ones. But selection, A, selection is never based on money, and B, once you're admitted, you can, many ways you can find ways to solve financial issues. In particular, some of them are even officially free, and there will be a list of those on the next page, and even those which are not officially free, you can probably, in many cases, you can find your way in. Right, so this is a list of programs which I think I value more than others, and I don't want to waste your time reading through. So last year there was a presentation about this program, the one at Weizmann Institute, the one highlighted in blue. They have a good international, very good summer program for international undergrads, and I know many people, including some of my distinguished colleagues who, as undergrads, attended that. And I know that after presentation last year, some of the students applied, and quite a few got in, and they followed up, and I know that the results were quite good. So I think that Weizmann program already worked quite well for the people here. But then there are all these other programs. Yeah. So in the last line, Dynastia disappeared since last year. So that's out. But other programs remain. Right, and so I think that's kind of the end of what I was going to say. Then there are other interesting summer programs that, again, it's not a comprehensive list. I just copied things from sources that I consider good. But these are good programs. These are programs that either myself in person or via good friends I know good things about. So yeah, so please share this information, and if there is any interest to discuss it further, we'll be happy to during either now or during the workshop or later. And there are also math programs, actually more math programs than any other kind of programs for high schools, because math is a common knowledgeable science, and you can go to a math program and then switch to something else. Right, and so this is my contact. This is my contact information in case there are any questions. Questions now? Right, so it's officially lunchtime.